just wanted to touch on this for a moment. I follow you on social media. You've touched on that, but back in October, I think it was, you had a really long post, I think on World Mental Health Day. And I'm just curious, just kind of, take me through what went into that and why.
I've struggled at the university. Part of the reason I'm in my fifth year, other than changing majors late, is because I've had traumatic experiences here, dating back to my freshman year at the university, where I've struggled with just extreme anxiety, and I've been diagnosed with panic disorder, where I'll have unannounced and I'll have panic attacks that I cannot feel coming.
Yeah.
It's been tough. It really has. And thank goodness, thank the good Lord that I'm having a good time now, because for a long time there, for about 2 years here, it was really, really dark. And I think it all came to a head last year, this semester last year, when it was at its darkest. But that post you're talking about on World Mental Health Day, I took up journaling last year in an attempt to get feelings, and my thoughts moved to paper and out of my body. Mental Health Day, I opened up my journal for the first time and read some of the things in there and decided to share. But I posted that in a roundabout way to tell people, because it's a lot of people here that have the same problems I do. There's a lot of people here that struggle with anxiety and general depression, and that could use that and could look at my story and see how I've gotten help, how I've went to therapy, how I've just worked to become a more controlled person and control the things around me. That could have used there's people that could have used my advice and maybe taken the initiative themselves and gotten help. And that's really what it's all about, is if I can help one person get the help they need, I've served my purpose here, because it's a dark place, man. I'm telling you, I was in a really dark place for a really, really long time at the place I love most, at the University of Alabama. And it didn't feel like I should have been here for the longest amount of time. And I got help, and I'm enjoying my life and the end of my college experience to the absolute fullest now. And I'm so thankful for it. But if I could help one person get help, I've done my job.
Absolutely. And did you ever, talking about your kind of your growing platform in a way, via social media, posting something like that's so personal and putting it out there, did you ever expect, especially as a college student, did you ever expect to have that kind of platform to, maybe help somebody else, or have them reach out to you to say, hey, this helped me, that kind of
I've
thing?
never expected to have my platform. It blows my mind every time. And this is a little bit off topic, but uh, it blows my mind anytime I'm out in town or I'm on campus and people stop and want to talk, or people tell me, say, hey, I love your thanks for what you do for the university, stuff like that. Because I'm just a dude. Really, that's all I am. I'm just some guy, and I'm flattered and blown away anytime anyone knows my name, because that's all I really see myself in. About my social media, my social media platform. If that's really all it's been for me, it's to scream things into the void, scream stuff into the void, and whoever listens. Uh, but I've never really expected to have my following. But uh, if it's for things like we're talking about, things like getting people to cope with their anxiety or their mental health issues, uh, absolutely use my platform to do that, and I'm happy to, because I feel like that's a good service and that's something that needs to be done, and it's something a lot of people need to hear.
Exactly right. And I mean, it takes, it takes courage to do that. So, I mean, kudos to you on that. And I'm glad you're in a good place now, especially, finishing out your college career. You're going to finish it on on a high note and something that you'll remember forever. So that's fantastic.
Thank you.
And so next, so again, offline, we had talked about one of the last podcasts I did was with Luke Ratliff, who I'm sure you
Great
know,
kid. Great
student
kid.
at Alabama. Yeah, student at Alabama, just a massive super fan of, especially of Bama hoops. But so he talked a good bit. I know he put a bunch out there. I think it was in like
Yeah.
October of this year, just about, you know, how people see him as a jovial, you know, just big Alabama fan, happy all the time, you know, yelling at other teams, just typical college kid, having a good time. And then he just kind of hit us all with a long post about some like mental health type stuff and how he was journaling and overcoming some of the thoughts he had and whatnot. So is that something that you saw and could relate to, or what?
It is. And it's always shocking to when you see someone like a guy like Luke, and I think he's a great kid, and I think he has a very bright future, and the few chances I've had to actually meet and talk to him, you know, smile across my face every time. It's tough. It's a tough thing to admit and be open about. Back in September, I kind of came out, same thing, with Suicide Awareness Day. You know, back in high school and college, I really struggled with that kind of mental health aspect of it as well. You know, I am a suicide, and I put it out there, I am a suicide attempt survivor. It's never an easy thing to talk about, especially when you kind of feel like you have all these people that I don't want to say look up to you or like you're the role model, but you know, people who kind of see you as happy-go-lucky all the time, always got a smile on their face, always positive attitude. And most of the time we do. But sometimes we feel like we have to carry it even though we don't want to for other people. Perfect example, when I was at the University of Alabama, I had an incident, I believe in 2012. And if it wasn't for my fraternity brothers, for, you know, Lambda Chi Alpha, they were my support system that I needed. And a lot of them didn't quite understand what was happening or didn't know how to really react to it. But, you know, they were there, you know, when I needed them. And over the years, they've actually, you know, I'll never out names or anything like that, but I've had quite a few come to me for help and, you know, advice and how to get through it, because, you know, they know that I've gone through it and I know it from a firsthand basis. And it's not just them. You know, I feel like since I posted that picture, I've had people who have reached out to me through Twitter, you know, just needing someone to talk to. And I know that I always come off as, you know, just sports and humor and stuff like that, you know, dumb jokes. But, you know, I, as someone who has gone through it, you know, for quite a while and firsthand, I'm always there to talk to anybody who needs it. You know, you can DM me, you can, you know, just text me your number. I mean, you can call me or text me or anything at any time, at any day, and I will make sure that you know, we get through it. And I've done that, and it's, you know, I know what it's like, and I know it's hard. I think honestly, the hardest part is actually admitting that you need the help. It's very tough, and it was very brave of Luke to do what he did, and I'm really glad he did. And, you know, we kind of talked about it the last time I was in Tuscaloosa. I wanted to make sure he was okay. So honestly, the hardest part, but the first step to, you know, getting there and, you know, helping get through it is admitting that, hey, I actually need help, or I need someone to talk to, or I know something's not okay. So, and I'm glad the fact that I'm comfortable enough with it now, and I'm more open about it with it now, to where I can help a 20-year-old college kid who's going through it, who doesn't know what to do, or even adults who have reached out to me who have struggled with it for years and who has never been able to admit it to anybody. So it's just part of life now, honestly. And I feel like 2020 has been a very mentally stressful year for a lot of it, and it's been tough for a lot of people. And so I just want people to know that, look, if you need help or you need someone to talk to, reach out to me, reach out to your loved ones. I mean, there's so many options that you have to, get the help that you need.
For sure. Well, and I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're doing good, and I'm really glad to hear that you're kind of an ear to bend for others that need that ear to hear out what they're going through. So that's
Thank
kudos
you.
to you on
I
that.
appreciate it. And like I said, it's just don't be afraid to ask for help.